We just saw the highest average sales price for a home in both DuPage and in Cook County this last June. So it's finally July and we're going to take a look at how June went in both DuPage and Cook County, and you're going to be a little surprised at the numbers that we saw on how June went. Now, I wasn't joking when I said we saw the highest average sales price for a home in both DuPage and Cook County. If we look at DuPage County from May to June, in May, we saw the average home sell for $454,000 in May. In June, it was $490,000. Let's look at Cook County. In May, the average home price in Cook County was about $420,000. In June, it was $446,000. While that might be shocking, the summertime is usually prime time moving season because it's in between the school year and there is no snow, so it's easier to move. Now, before you get so surprised and shocked at that number, let's dive deeper into a couple of other stats that might surprise you, but is going to tell us a story about how the market is moving over here in the Chicagoland area. First things first, what I want to say from reading the data, basically what we're seeing is home prices are going up and up and up. The thing is, the number of homes coming in the market is staying relatively consistent. We're not really seeing too many more homes come on the market. We're not seeing less homes come on the market. The thing to pay attention to though is we're seeing the months of inventory continue to increase. Now remember, months of inventory basically means this is how many homes we have on the market before we run out. So let's say in a normal market where it's equally healthy market for both buyers and sellers, you would say there's about 6 months of inventory on hand. So 6 months, you go halfway through the year before you run out of homes. In this pandemic, the past 2 years, we've been under 2 months. That's why it's been an extremely strong seller's market. The thing is, we've seen prices go up, we see the amount of homes sold stay the same, and we're starting to see months of inventory go up, which basically means it's not as strong as the seller's market. Now, believe me, we're still at 2 months of inventory, so it is still a strong seller's market, but we're starting to see more and more inventory come up. We're starting to see more of a difference between the strong seller's market we've seen the past couple of years and where we are now. First things first, based off the data that we're seeing, basically, we're seeing home prices sell for a larger amount, but we're not seeing as many buyers willing to pay that amount anymore because the months of inventory is starting to get larger and larger. What's months of inventory again? A quick lesson. Months of inventory basically says how much inventory do we have in the market before we run out. In a normal, healthy market, you want to see about 6 months of inventory. That means 6 months, you can go through half the year and then you're going to run out of homes after 6 months. In this strong, crazy seller's market, we've seen less than 2 months of inventory, and that's why it's been so hectic for buyers because there's just not enough inventory. Now, we are still in the seller's market. We still are hovering around 2 months of inventory in both DuPage and Cook County. The thing is, we're seeing less demand. We're seeing the number of homes come on the market stay relatively the same. We're seeing sales prices skyrocket through the roof, and yet months of inventory is going up. How does that make sense? Usually you only see more months of inventory come on the market when more homes come on the market. The thing is, we're not seeing that at all. We're seeing the same homes come on the market, prices are going up, and months of inventory is going up, which basically says that buyers are not willing to pay what they used to. Interest rates are going up. They used to be at 3% at the start of the year. They're hovering around 5 to 6 now. And people are just not willing to buy a home anymore because this really cuts out the casual buyers. This cuts out the buyers that were looking to buy just to take advantage of the interest rates. They weren't really looking to buy because they needed to move. And now that section of buyers are pretty much gone because they're not looking to buy at 6%. So we're seeing months of inventory go up. We're seeing prices go up. And yet the number of homes on the market are staying the same. So what does this mean for you? If you're buying a house, there is still competition. The thing is, you're not competing against the casual buyer anymore. You're not competing against the people who just want to take advantage of the interest rate, who are just looking to move because they have such a low interest rate. Hey, why not? You're going to be competing with the people who need to move, who love the house, love the area, are moving for lifestyle reasons, financial reasons, job reasons, whatever it is. You are competing with serious buyers. So the buyer pool is shrinking, but you are going still against strong, serious buyers. So I want you to keep that in mind. You're not going to be fighting against 5, 10, 15 other people, but you're going to be fighting against 2 to 3 serious, strong competitors. So keep that in mind. And if you're a seller in this market, look, as much as I would love to say, go ahead, throw a dart on the wall. That's what you can get for your house. That's not going to work. You really need to competitively list your home, you need to look at comps. You need to price your home based off what other homes in the area have sold for. Otherwise, it's going to sit on the market and people aren't going to look at it. And that's just the reality of what we're seeing now. We're not seeing people throw money at houses because interest rates aren't where they're used to being. And I know that's a bit of a reality check, and that's a bit of a shock to a lot of sellers who are thinking about taking advantage of the market. Look, it is still a seller's market. It is still a strong seller's market that you can get a top dollar for your home. You're just not going to get, hey, if your home is worth $450 in a normal market, you're not going to get $550. You're not going to get $520 for it, more than likely. Now, I can't guarantee where you can get for it, but it's going to have to be a competitive number, and it's not going to be outrageous of what we've seen this past couple years. So keep that in mind if you're trying to sell your home. Now, if you're a seller, what does this mean to you? Prices are still soaring. You're still going to get more for your home than you would have gotten 2 to 3 years ago. The thing to keep in mind is you need to price your home competitively. A lot of times this past year, we saw sellers just throw a dart in the wall and just expect to get that number. That market is not really here anymore. We still see sellers getting more than what they would have gotten. You just can't get an unrealistic number. If your home is worth $400,000 based off the number of homes that have sold in your area, it's probably not a great idea to list your price at $450 because more than likely it's not going to get any showings. It's not going to get any offers. It might have 6 months ago, a year ago, because there's just nothing on the market. People were desperate and they wanted to take advantage of the 3% interest rates. Now, people who need to move are serious about moving, but they're not going to throw money around because interest rates are not where they used to be. So be competitive with your pricing, look at comps, take recommendations and the suggestions of your local realtor, and make sure to use the data and math when you're pricing your home correctly, because you're still going to get top dollar. You're still going to get more than you would have 2 to 3 years ago. You're just not going to be able to put a blindfold on and just guess whatever number and get it. You're going to have to do some serious math and research and make sure to price your home competitively so that you can make sure you can get the attention and get a good offer from buyers in this market. It was a very interesting June in both DuPage and Cook counties. If you have any questions on what's going on in DuPage County, Cook County, or even the housing market in general, just shoot us a message and we'll get back to you and we'll make sure to answer every question that you have to make sure you're comfortable and confident in today's market.